This video is an overview of how to set up your 10-inch Intex sand filter. Setup is simple and easy, but care must be taken to follow all the instructions and recommendations in this video and in your owner's manual. Failure to do so could result in injury or product damage. Please follow these recommendations when setting up your filter pump. Choose the location carefully. Once the sand tank is filled with sand, it will be heavy and difficult to move. The filter pump should be as far from the pool as the hoses will allow. Do not place anything near the pump that might impede the flow of air. Good air circulation is important for motor cooling. Do not turn the pump on unless the pool is filled with water to the proper level. Do not operate the pump when there are people in the pool. You will need an electrical outlet within reach of the power cord, but not closer than 6 feet from the pool. You must be able to plug the pump into an electrical outlet without using an extension cord. Use only a GFCI or RCD electrical outlet for safety. If the outlet trips the circuit repeatedly, correct the problem before using the pump. You will also need a Phillips head screwdriver, a level, stable platform which is vibration-free on which to place the system, and either a number 20 silica sand or glass media. Do not use synthetic sand. Be sure to keep children away from sand and glass media, and take precautions against sand and glass dust in the air, which can irritate eyes and lungs. Begin by removing the pump and all accessories from the packaging. Inspect for visible damage. Do not assemble the pump if parts are damaged or missing. For replacement parts, please visit our website at www.intexcorp.com. Place your platform midway between the plunger valves on the pool, as far from the pool as the hoses will allow, so the pump cannot be used to climb into the pool. The platform must be placed on a firm, level surface. Place the tank support base on the platform as shown. Then, place the tank on the support base. The tank drain cap should be facing away from the center of the platform. Lower the pump motor assembly onto the tank support base as shown. The water inlet port should face the pool. Some communities require that the filter and pump be secured to the ground. Check your local requirements. Locate the transparent leaf trap. Check that the 2 leaf trap O-rings, the L-shaped leaf trap O-ring, and the motor inlet port O-ring are in place. Then, screw the leaf trap onto the pump motor inlet port. Using your Phillips screwdriver, remove the bolt from the clamp that will secure the 6-way valve to the top of the sand tank. Set the clamp aside. Locate the center pipe and filter grid. Notice the minimum and maximum lines on the pipe. The amount of sand in the tank must be between these 2 indicators. Screw the center pipe onto the filter grid. Hand tighten only. Lower the assembly into the tank. The filter grid should fit securely at the bottom of the tank. The grid and the pipe should be centered in the tank. Place a cup or sand shield over the center pipe before pouring sand into the tank. Sand in the pipe will interfere with the operation of the filter. Refer to the chart in your manual for the quantity of filter media required for your filter pump. Slowly fill the tank with sand, using approximately half the recommended amount. Distribute the sand evenly in the tank. Add some water to the tank. This will hold the sand in place when more sand is added. Resume filling the tank until the sand is between the minimum and maximum marks on the pipe. and again distribute the sand evenly in the tank. Remove the cup or sand shield and wipe away any sand from the edge of the tank. Please consult your manual during the installation of the 6-way valve and tank cover. Improper installation can be hazardous. First, check that the tank O-ring is properly installed. Lift the 6-way valve cover. Align the small projection on the edge of the cover with a corresponding groove in the tank base. Notice the bypass valve underneath the cover. As you carefully lower the 6-way valve cover onto the tank, the projection at the edge of the cover must fit into the groove on the tank, and the center pipe must fit securely into the bypass valve. There are 3 hose ports on the 6-way valve. When properly positioned, the port with the cap, the drain waste port, faces away from the pool. The water inlet port faces the motor, and the valve's water outlet port will face the pool. To secure the 6-way valve cover to the tank, fit the clamp over the lip of the tank and the valve cover flange. Replace the bolt removed earlier and tighten it with the Phillips screwdriver. Check that the L-shaped O-rings are installed in the motor outlet port and in the 6-way valve inlet port. Attach the supplied short hose to the 6-way valve inlet port and the motor outlet port, tightening the hose nuts at each end. Do not over-tighten. Attach the hoses between the plunger valves on your pool and the ports on the filter pump. First, slide a hose onto the upper plunger valve on your left and secure it with the attached hose nut. Then to the 6-way valve outlet port. Tighten the hose nuts snugly. Do not over-tighten. Connect the other hose to the lower plunger valve on your right and to the leaf trap inlet port. Check that both plunger valves have been turned clockwise to the closed position. The power switch on the side of the pump has 3 positions. The right position is on, designated by the horizontal line. The middle position is off, designated by the circle. And the left position is the timer, designated by the clock. The switch should be off in the middle position. The 6-way valve should be closed. The pump must never be turned on when the valve is in the closed position. Pressure buildup could lead to an explosive rupture. When turning the 6-way valve to other positions, the pump must be switched off. Plug the pump into a GFCI or RCD electrical outlet. Open the plunger valves by turning the plunger valve handles counterclockwise until they stop. Remove the cap from the drain waste port at the back of the 6-way valve. Attach a hose to the port. The other end of the hose should lead to a suitable drain. A separate hose is not provided for this port. You may use the hose between the outlet port on the 6-way valve and the upper plunger valve on the left after closing that plunger valve. Once you have connected the hose, depress the 6-way valve handle and turn it to backwash. You must depress the valve handle first in order to turn it. Backwashing is the first step in flushing dirt and air out of your system. Turn the pump on. Water will circulate through the sand and out the drain waste port, pushing out any dirt or trapped air. Continue in the backwash mode until a clear flow of water is observed in the drain waste outlet or through the transparent outlet adapter. Turn the pump off. Turn the 6-way valve to rinse. Turn the pump on and let it run for a minute. This will level out the sand after backwashing. Switch the pump off. Remove the hose from the 6-way valve drain waste port and replace the cap. If you use the hose between the pool and 6-way valve, replace it now and open the plunger valve. Turn the 6-way valve to filter. Turn the pump on. Water should be flowing into the pool from the pool upper connector, the inlet jet. You can adjust the direction of the inlet jet by hand. If you see bubbles coming up from the pool inlet, check that all connections are tight. Note the pressure level on the pressure gauge. The pressure gauge is found on the 6-way valve next to the drain waste outlet. Over time, as the filter cleans your water, dirt will accumulate in the sand and pressure will rise in the tank. Check the pressure gauge frequently. When the needle in the pressure gauge reaches the yellow zone, backwashing will be necessary. The power switch timer position will run the pump automatically for a set number of hours at the same time each day. To use the timer, set the timer dial to the desired number of hours. Check the filtration chart in the manual for the recommended number of hours for your pool. Press the clock icon for the timer mode at the hour of the day you would like the pump to operate. Leave the power switch set to the clock icon and the pump will operate at the same hour of the day every day for the number of hours set by the timer dial. Turn the power switch to the middle or off position to stop the timer. Before proceeding with any cleaning or maintenance to your pump, turn the pump off and disconnect the power cord. Close both plunger valves. To clean the leaf trap, unscrew the lower plunger valve hose from the leaf trap, then unscrew the leaf trap from the motor inlet port. Flush debris from the trap with a garden hose and replace the leaf trap and the plunger valve hose. With proper care and maintenance, your Intex sand filter will give you years of clean, fresh water.